everybody doing? It's Blue Monday, Blues Monday, that is. Just saying hello, just playing a little bit of a shuffle there, kind of in the Chicago kind of thing. That's where I love to be a lot of the times, is playing like the Chicago blues. I really love that sound, and I just kind of wanted to talk about today. A lot of times, I'll hear players, are aspiring blues players, and they'll play, a 12 bar. They'll go around once or twice, and they'll come in with a strong impact. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Excuse me. Wow, this is really cool. And then, after a while, you'll start to hear that they're kind of running out of gas a little bit. This is something that, we all can suffer from. It depends on what's going on, or we're not feeling it, or the rhythm sections may be a little bit squirrely or whatever. No offense to the rhythm section out there. But, there's many different reasons. But the thing that can really kind of bulletproof your playing is really being engulfed in the music, listening to many different players, because this really is the subtle beauty of blues music in general. Where you have other types of music, that I love a lot, jazz music, and, there's different harmonic devices and things like that, and I've always been a person that loves simplicity and to explore different things, and one way of exploring in the blues and keeping it, interesting is engulfing yourself in it. It's like, if you really want to play the blues and really be convincing, you can't play at the blues. You have to be a part of it and understand the different, subtle things of these different players that really started it and made it, put blues on the map, going all the way back, to really early stuff like Blind Lemon Jefferson and all that kind of stuff. Because still, I try to, well, it's now is second nature kind of in a way, but I try to incorporate a lot of different ideas, and even sometimes if I'm playing for a crowd that maybe they're not into it, or maybe they're watching the big screen or looking at a sports game while I'm playing at a bar or something like that, sometimes I have to play for myself. And I've mentioned this in time past. I think maybe I got this from, the great Kim Wilson, who I've played a lot of shows with and been in different bands with, And he said, sometimes you just have to play this music for yourself, so it's not all about, just crowd pleasing antics and stuff like that. But in your heart that you're doing, the right thing, and you playing that music, And I think that's very, very important, And what I mean by like playing for yourself, you might, the music, you've been listening to it, and you can quote these different phrases, and a lot of music is like that. I'm sure country, bluegrass, jazz, rock, all of that, you build upon your inspiration and the things that got you started, how you get licks from Jimmy Page or from whoever, you get all of these different ideas from these players, and stuff like that. And you just go from there, I mean, that's the thing, you sort of like you're taking in these different ideas and things like that, and anytime, any kind of genre of music, you will hear, somebody like Tony Wright, say, bluegrass guitar player, incredible, And I mean, if you talk to him for 5 minutes, well, God rest his soul, if you would have talked to him, he would have told you about all of these different influences and things that he had, and being able to quote those things and pull them off the top of his head, and things like that. And most players can do that, when you think about Jimi Hendrix and the music that he liked, you can hear bootlegs of him playing everything from Hound Dog to Beatles songs to all of this stuff, so you're incorporating all of these different influences into your music. Then you have somewhere to go, and you can take it to the moon once you have the knowledge, and once you have all of these different players and things that have come before you to incorporate into your playing, and then your approach, you're different than me or anybody else. and your own spin on it. And that's when the magic happens. That's when the fun happens, and then you have the players like John Lee Hooker and different players that were so original right out of the chute. But we're kind of in a different day now in a way. There's some players like that even now. Excuse me. There's some players like that now, and they're fantastic. But for a player that came up like me having to play in one night, you know, 10 different blues styles from amplified country blues, backing up harmonica players, to Chicago blues, to boogies, and all of this different thing, rock and roll and all that stuff. It was important for me to know about all these different styles, and things like that. So that's just something I wanted to kind of keep in, that keep in mind. You have to really dig deep into the music, and I think a good place to start is, check out some of your favorite blues players and then go backwards, meaning like if you like Stevie Ray Vaughan, find out what Stevie Ray Vaughan liked. Okay, so then find out what that player liked, and then find out what that player liked. Because, with the internet and everything is very overwhelming. You can be very overwhelmed by things. And I think some of the younger generation, have it, difficult in a way because there's so much available that sometimes it's hard to just sit down and pick one thing, to get into. So that's the reason why I'm doing these YouTube videos and have done more of them in the past, is to try and, just kind of lead younger players and older players and myself and hip, people to some maybe more neglected areas of blues, and more of the things of, how a professional musician thinks and plays, and, and all of those things. I mean, that's kind of why I do it. And also it's Blue Monday, and also my GoFundMe, as many of you may know, is still going on, and I would love it if you would support me at GoFundMe for the making of my new record, Heartache by the Pound. It'll be a link in the description below, in the description section of this YouTube video. And I thank you so much. It's really great, and it's great to have this outlet where it can be me and you. And that's it. Cut out the middleman, and it just be direct to the people that like what I do. All right. Everybody take care, and happy Blue Monday. And hopefully I tell you something that you can use, show you something